The ace I fought over the Marshall Islands was Kazuma Yamashita. He was part of the infamous 13th Airborne Squadron who had led the attack on Pearl Harbor. These guys put the final bombs into the Arizona. These were the guys who killed Charlie. The 13th Airborne had the Jap Navy's best flyers, and they put them in their best planes. Callahan said I was lucky to be alive. He'd fought him before, and I was lucky it wasn't Shunagawa, their leader. He was the best flyer Callahan had ever seen, and he was racking up kills all over the Pacific. But I'd survived the fight and brought the Zero down in one piece. It was weird to fly, light as a feather and armed to the teeth. The plane was crated up and shipped back to the Naval Intelligence boys in San Diego. The guys we rescued from the POW camp had only been in there about a month, but they were in bad shape. They'd been starved and beaten by the Japs. Well, I got talking to one of them, a guy named Tom Stewart. Turns out that he was a pilot who'd been shot down and he was itching to fly again. Callahan found a place for him in one of the other wings of our squad. So ex-prisoner of war Tom Stewart got another chance to fly for his country. Callahan ran a tight squad, and before we knew it, we were brushing up on our torpedo runs and dive bombing for the battles ahead. Our attacks on the Marshall Islands only damaged the Japanese base at Tarawa. Elsewhere, the fighting continued. The Japs dug themselves in and even had a few significant victories. They sank their first carrier, the Langley, and our biggest warship in the Far East, the cruiser Houston. So far, we hadn't managed to hit them back. We started to figure we'd be in the Pacific a lot longer than we originally thought. In April of '42, things were looking pretty bad. Morale was low, both in the Pacific and back home. One of our commanders came up with a daring plan to strike a blow at the Japanese. Not on some island somewhere, but right on their mainland. It was called the Doolittle Raid. Our grease monkeys modified a bunch of B-25s to take off from carriers, something they were never meant to do. They launched from the Hornet and bombed factories on the Japanese mainland. Didn't do a hell of a lot of damage, but it did show the Japs that we had a few tricks of our own. They were feeling our breath on the back of their necks now. Some of the boys who flew the B-25s had to ditch in the ocean, but a few managed to crash land in China. Of the 80 crew, 71 made it back. We heard later that the Japs killed 250,000 Chinese, just for helping our boys.
It really was a bloody, brutal war, not just on the European theater, Pacific theater, just a bloodbath, that entire war.
Accurate torpedo bombing is vital to our war effort. So today we need you to fly a training mission with Lieutenant Commander Callahan so he can show you the ropes. You'll be using live torpedoes against a wrecked transport that was hit by Japanese bombers several days ago. It's dead in the water but still floating, so at least you can get some target practice in when we scuttle it.
The Jap Navy was headed for Australia, but we cut them off in the Coral Sea.
So many loading screens, but such a good game. Do I have the continuation of this game? I don't remember. Look, I do. I might have to find it again. Frankly, that one I didn't like.
Well, Crow, word is you're a pretty good flyer. This little torpedo drill shouldn't cause you any trouble. First of all, torpedoes need to be dropped from way down low. You need to get right down to the deck. You have to slow right down, or the torp will skip off the water at any old angle. Of course, normally it's a lot harder than this to hit a moving target, but you should have no problems with hitting this one.
Okay, he shot his fish, now it's my turn.
Torpedo running clean!
That's a hit.
Devastator training flight. This is to Lexington. Are you receiving us? Over. This is Callahan. I can hear you, Lexington. One of our pilots came across a Japanese refueling stop to the south and damaged them. We need you to get over there and finish it off. All other torpedo bombers are off on a mission. Okay, Lexington. Looks like Crow will get a chance to drop on a hot target after all. Fox 1, proceed approximately 20 miles south and attack damaged D2 cargo submarine. Be advised, we expect other units to come to our assistance. This model is known to be used to refuel seaplanes and other vehicles. Crow, you're straying too far.
Why is the truth so proper? It's fired. Stop it.
Lexington, this is Fox 1. The Japs have sent a squadron of subs to repair the damaged one.
We are picking them up on radar, Fox 1. Hold tight and do what you can to harass them. These cargo subs have been carrying some pretty important cargo between Japan, Germany, and the conquered territories. Whatever it is, the Japs are trying hard to protect it. Double your efforts, Fox 1. We need that sub sent to the bottom of the ocean.
Lexington, that sub's making a run for it.
Crow, you better take that sub out before it can dive.
These brute fighters are just a zero with a float bolted on. submerging for the last time!
Holy mother, look at the size of that sub. I hope these torpedoes will damage that thing.
There's only one way to find out.
I can't believe it. That sub's launching fighters.
I'll take care of the plane. You concentrate on sinking that sub. Torpedo work.
Cold War. Alright, new video. Maybe. Let's continue. See what happens. Alright. Which game should I do next? Maybe Heatseeker. It's a different kind of... Now the roof was... I got the roof and the peak mixed up. Oh well. Alright. Should I do one more?
The Japanese are tightening their hold on the Solomon Islands to prevent any future Allied counterattacks. If they get a stronger foothold in the area, it will allow them to attack Northern Australia. Through the coded radio intercepts, we have learned that the heavy carriers, the Shokaku and the Zukaku, both veterans of Pearl Harbor, are here in the Coral Sea. They are accompanied by the Shoho, a smaller carrier. Our scouts have spotted the Shoho. You are to attack her immediately. Other wings will deal with the other threats.